Look, Hark, my scales are returning. What further proof do you need? Not that you had any right to doubt. No curse could bind me forever. By Tiamat, I'll overcome this yet. I'm sure you'll be back to terrorizing the coast by the month's end. In no small measure, there's no better way to stretch the wings than with a good rampage. Look at them, the sheen, the rigidity. Any blade that struck these would leave its edge behind, there is no denying it. And red, of course. I knew they'd be red and not gold. Sanctimonious snake kin. So that's it? You just have to wait and eventually you'll turn back to normal? Perhaps, but I won't let it be that simple. There must be some way to hasten the process. Every second I spend on 2 feet is another second too long. But frankly, I expected you to be more excited. Does it not thrill you that a full-fledged dragon shall walk in your midst? More terrified than thrilled, to be honest. As well you should be. We are the greatest creatures to walk the earth, course the skies, and swim the seas. That is fact. Perhaps there are beings as wise as dragons, or as strong, or as majestic, but never all three. We are second to gods, and only some of them. Such arrogance can be dangerous, Flora. Arrogance is unwarranted confidence. I am humble, if anything, and it has always been my lot to say and do as I please. No amount of danger will take that from me. Dragons are many things, but above all, Hark, above all else, we are free. Did you say something? Not a word. Wait. Oh, I'm getting a sending, I think. Just a moment. Hello? Yes, this is Dave. Say again? Sorry, the wind isn't great out here. All right, yes, as soon as I can, I'll see you there. That was my boss. Apparently I'm needed back at the temple. Why were you talking to yourself? I was talking to Stormlord Jeff. Remember I told you about him? He speaks to us through the wind sometimes, much faster than sending a messenger, although transmission can be a bit crackly. I won't ask you to come with me, but if you don't, we might not see each other again. I don't know where I'll be headed afterwards. Sure they won't mind my being there? All right, we'll go. Where do we find this temple? You know High Hedge west of Baragost? There's this huge stone building with 8 towers and doors twice as tall as a man. It's the one next to that. One thing, though. Don't go in without me. If you barge in with all your gear and such, they'll assume the worst. Blah. I left the game running for a while, so... What is it? It's these radishes. I got them from town just to nibble on, but they taste wrong. Bland. Back with the tribe, there were these lovely forest radishes we used to harvest. Brown buds, they're called. Had this wild, spicy flavor to them. And for a snack, we'd slice them up raw with whole smoked pilchards. Smirked. Oh, bliss. Crunchy bliss. I'd like to try that someday. I'll make it for you. Ain't complicated if you can find the ingredients. Maybe not the fanciest fare in the world, but it's childhood food. Food for the heart. Sometimes that's all you're really hungry for. Did you still want to hear how I left home? Sounds like you need to talk about it. Yeah, you might be right. I've barely spoken to anyone since, not had the chance. Couldn't hurt to get it off my chest. It happened in the Wheeldath, Forest of Tethir, you probably call it. Me and a few scouts were keeping an eye on this caravan just passing through, Kalashites judging by their skin. But they had this guide up front, and I don't know if he was drunk or just daft, but every single bloody word out of his mouth was wrong. Kept saying this way and pointing, and somehow he always pointed from where they should have been going, toward us. It was uncanny. As if we'd let go on, they'd have bungled straight into our encampment. Now, if there's one thing wild elves don't like, it's outsiders. Anyone gets too close to the tribe, they capture them, wipe their memories, and set them loose near the edge of the forest, somewhere they can find their way. And it so happens that a lot found their way into the pack of gnolls. So you went after them. We should have checked it was safe first. It was our fault, and I told them that. Told them we had to take responsibility. But the elders said it had cost too many elven lives chasing him down. And I said, I'll go by myself then, and it won't cost any. Only not just as calm as that. And what did they say? Not a dicky bird. Just let me walk away. So I tracked them all the way back to that fortress of theirs. By that time I'd cooled down and started wondering if it was worth it, if it was too late to change my mind. At least that's what I told myself. All that for one sodding prisoner. One sodding prisoner is still a life, little one. Don't undervalue it. I know, but I still see those pits in my sleep. I remember poor Dinah here trussed up on a pile of dead. Every time I feel like I did right, start feeling proud of myself, those pits come and take it away. You can have these if you want. My appetite's gone. Heard your dad died, says Vin. And here I thought you were discreet. Only when I'm working. Mine died too, funny enough, before I was born. Pretty sure my mother did it. Is that normal for the drow? It's common enough, especially with prestigious mothers. See, the child might be female, and if it is, you don't want them knowing their father. That's a male influence. That'll poison them because males are all completely useless at everything, obviously. Also, spiders eat their mates after doing the business, and boy do we ever love our spiders. Surprised we aren't being born with spinnerets by now. Was your mother prestigious? She was. But not anymore. Nope. Looks like you're doing alright for yourself anyway. Could have been worse. I suppose you're right. Of course I am. Get used to it. Happens a lot.
Was the only way out.
Alright, well, let's go back up to High Hedge and deliver
The only way out.
Dave to his companions. Trot, 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 trot. Explore. Is it this one? I've had buggy behavior around this in the past. Hopefully it won't behave itself. It's a no!
My enemies always bring out the best in me.
No more. Brother Dave, at last our congregation is whole. But what is this? Interlopers, speak clear and true, for I will ask only once. Who has the audacity to set foot in Talos' halls? Peon Stormlord, feeble and ignorant, but prostrate before the Destroyer, that they may be reforged in his conflagration. How dare, and also a dragon. So be it. Be seated, ye rabble, and mark well the word of Talos. Scones are on the table, help yourselves, but take only one, or you will know no respite from his fury. Talassans, an evening past, the looming clouds spoke unto your loyal Stormlord, bearing tidings from our Amish brethren. At this very moment, mercenaries from the temple in Athkatla ride the gales o'er the mountains, that they may bolster our ranks. Tell me, what does it say of them that they see fit to do this? Cheeky sods think we're off-horsing it. Yes, they call our numbers meager, our devotion weak. They accuse us of paying lip service, of tarnishing his glorious name. Faithful, my faithful, will they find proof of their charges? Like hells they will. Nay, nay, I say. Then we shall take action, brothers and sisters. I want holy symbols polished. I want every local cowering in their homes, praying for mercy. I want a trail of scorched infidels leading to our door. Yeah. We shall erase all doubt of our zeal, and send these cockshores home to arm with naught but the piss in their boots. Yeah. Walk fearless in the storm. Get the kettle on, would you, Kelly? My throat's murdering me. Yes, sir. Yes, Stormlord, I shall engulf these helpless leaves in a boiling vortex.
Deal.
You're the ones Dave brung in. You're probably all right then. Why do you worship Talos? Well, I ain't much good with numbers, so the shopkeepers wouldn't have me. I ain't much good with me hands, so the smiths wouldn't either. Tried joining the military, but I couldn't get the feel for a bow. Shot myself in the foot once, even. Stormlord Jeff said none of that mattered to Talos. It's what's in you that counts. Then he started laughing and said, "No, not really, but you don't need sums to pray, and no one can miss a man in mail with a lightning bolt." Pam, hail there. Don't cause trouble and you won't need mind me. You look more like a warrior than a priest. Would you believe I used to be a paladin? Tormite, no less. Duty this, obedience that. I wiped out his Antarum cabal and Scornubal down to the last man. I led a charge against the orcs in Miranda and killed their leader in single combat. Then I found out some buttery little bastard had been two-timing my daughter. Three-timing, actually. I went over and knocked a couple teeth out, and the silly bugger falls and cracks his head on the balustrade. Dead. And there goes my knighthood. Loyalty is the most important thing in the world, but 20 years of it doesn't excuse one accident, apparently. Well, he can stick it, the tight ass. Alan. Greetings. I hope you're not attending just for the spectacle. You'll find your stay here quite instructive if you're prepared to listen. Why do you worship Talos? There was a time I didn't. Not so long ago, perhaps, but I'd swear it's been decades. I was an Ogmanite once. I pledged myself as a scholar to the divine to travel the world and chronicle its faiths and pantheons. A colorful journey while it lasted. I've studied with Mistrans, reveled with Lyrians, and even supped with the Talonites, a mistake I'd not soon repeat. But in the end, all I truly learned was this. It's pointless. There are kind gods and cruel gods, forever heaving in their tug of war, while indifferent gods watch. From the dawn of man, nothing has changed. and to the dusk of man nothing will, while we might merely do as we please. Could be. Hello there. Welcome to, hail you peons. Welcome to this temple of Talos. Oh dear, that was terrible. You're Talassen as well? Oh, not quite. I just make the tea and clean up. No lightning bolts for me, not yet. I baked the scones, too. Did you like them? They're delicious. Thank you. It was Dave's idea, but I'm glad I listened. They've gone down a treat. Just a little something to draw the crowd. It's easier to preach indoors. You don't have to shout so loud. You seem distressed. Are you here against your will? Distressed? No, just nervous. I don't quite fit in just yet. Jeff says I need to get in touch with my inner aggression before I'm ready for priesthood. But, apart from that, enunciate, Kelly. Heralds of destruction do not mumble. Yes, Stormlord. Everyone's so welcoming. And Stormlord Jeff's teaching me to stand up for myself. I let people have their way much too often, and it's time that stopped, so no, I'm quite glad to be here. So you're a Talassen as well? Not quite. They're delicious. Yeah. Farewell. That's most people we've spoken to now. Brash to enter our temple, and brasher still to approach its chosen Stormlord. You would be but soot in the floorboards had Brother Dave not stayed my thunder. Speak, unbeliever, but know that Talos hears your every word. This is the Temple of Talos, an abandoned cabin in the woods. Full the Gareth cathedrals of lesser faiths are an affront to Talos. Such hubris invites ruination. Too bloody right. You seen the one near Baragost? They spent their arms building that, I saw, then held out their bows for more. The nerve. That we must scatter the gibberling hordes to reach our holy ground is testament to our might. Here, killed 3 of the blighters to get here, I did. What's the tabby doing here? That is Thundercat. Tempt not her wrath, for it is dire and unyielding. Meow. She hungers. Fetch the kippers. Why you worship Talos? Why do you not? Do you even comprehend your peril? You amble heedless along a dagger's edge. Talos shakes the earth and splits the sky at a whim. The splendor of lightning is his. The howl of the whirlwind and the blaze of wildfire are his. There is no sanctuary from his rage, but a life of prayer and sacrifice. To deny him is madness. And this is his temple? Is it too much to hope you offer healing services? Healing services? Talos' faithful are no peddlers of curatives. This insult must be answered with death. But hark, I hear his voice on the winds. Rejoice, worm, for your brazenness has pleased Talos. This once he shall provide. Coins only, please. Stone to flesh scroll's a good thing to have. Even a couple. Can I not buy more now? Oh, maybe my inventory is full. And it wouldn't just stack. Give me a couple of those. Alright.
Right.
That was fun. I'd listen to Stormlord Jeff for hours if he could keep it going that long. What do you think? They're good people, right? Good company, I mean. Good company. It's not what I was expecting, I'll say that much. What did you expect? If you abuse people who want to join you, nobody will join you. Just common sense. Alan's actually been to Candlekeep, you know. He apprenticed as a scribe with the Ogmanites as a boy, and they took him there on a field trip. Says it was the most fun he'd ever had before joining us. And Stormlord Jeff's all the way from Suzail. Could you tell? He was a transmuter captain of the Cormian War Wizards. Personally hasted the vanguard in the war against King Gondagal. One that lasted almost 8 days and had no battles. And now he worships a storm god from a hut. That's quite a transition. It seems mad, doesn't it? From a decorated Cormyran military veteran to a Talassen priest in the sticks. It's a problem with authority, I reckon. Nothing ever stops him from giving the people in charge a piece of his mind. And I guess the War Wizards got fed up with that. Here, though, here you can say whatever you want as long as you can back it up. That's how he became Stormlord, in fact. Just walked right up to the previous Stormlord one day and said he didn't like his attitude. Ended up defeating him in a trial by thunder. Is that some kind of ritual? A trial by thunder is a type of duel. You gather all the local clergy together and have them pray for a lightning storm, while the challenger and their opponents stand out in the open. Once the clouds start rolling in, the duelists will have to prove themselves to Talos, not by swinging maces or casting spells, but by showing their will, their eagerness to serve. That way, when the bolts start raining down, they'll have nothing to protect them but Talos' favor. Then it's just a question of who falls first. How exactly do you prove yourself? So the winner is decided by chance? No, Hark. Talos brings the storm. He is the storm, and the storm is the only judge. There's no disputing it. I was there that day when they had the trial. It was just after I told them I wanted to join. I still remember everything gathered in the field, rain bucketing down, but nobody had a drop of water on them. Wind strong enough to fell trees, but everyone stood steady. Lightning flaring overhead, and they just raised their hands like it could have snatched it out of the sky. They all seemed like they'd been doing it forever. There was me, the fisherman's boy, still with river weed in my shoes, acting like I had any business. Once everyone else had gone, Stormlord Jeff took me into the temple and opened that beat-up trunk in the bedroom. And inside was his old military robe with the purple dragon insignia and everything. And he said, "Never feel constrained by what you used to be." I'll never forget that. Very well. We're going to have to do some player-initiated conversations here sooner or later. There's a lot more to hear from these people. Maybe now is time. Need something? How are you? Is a health check or a small talk? If it's the first one, it's fine. If not, I've got a pounding headache.
All
What
you
now?
was.
On my way.
You didn't give the only way out.
How do you think we're doing so far? Bad. Wait, in regards to what? Solving the iron crisis. Oh, right. Bad.
What's up?
You teach me how to poison a weapon. Well, you take a weapon, preferably a sharp one, and you put poison on it. Later. I'll teach you later.
What now?
We go back to the poisoning lessons? Look, it's childishly simple. Literally, I did this when I was 8. Here is the blade. Here is the poison. Put the poison on the blade, keep it tilted down so it doesn't get on your hand. There. Poison weapon. Try it. I'm still not sure I get it. Just leave the poisoning to me, alright? That's my thing. You do your thing.
Yeah?
How long have you been on the surface for? Could you tell I wasn't a native if it weren't for the skin? Probably not. There's your answer then. And it's the best one I can give you. I never had seasons. I never had a son. And I'm not counting on getting elderly. There comes a point when a year doesn't mean anything.
What's up?
Teach me Drow sign language. Ha ha ha. Like hell. You will never live long enough for me to trust you with that secret. I'm amazed you even know about it. What does it matter? You're not in the Underdark anymore. Not now. You never know. You're a half-elf, huh?
What now?
I'd really like to get to know you better. Okay, I was born on the 18th of Flame Rule. I enjoy playing darts, and my favorite color is yellow. Mine too. What's your favorite food? Look, we're not doing this, alright?
Yeah?
Why darts, Vin? I thought crossbows were the traditional weapon of Drow assassins. Okay, first of all, how the hell did you know that? Reading. Right. Well, maybe my being up here didn't give it away, but I'm not a huge fan of tradition. I just like darts. I played with them a lot when I was young, and soon I realized they could kill someone. Very drow of me, I know. They tried to force a crossbow on me, but I put them off the day I killed an Umber Hulk by myself. Poison dart between the chitin, straight into whatever organ they have in there, and down it went before it even got near us. After that, they decided, yeah, let's just let him have his way. First real decision I ever got to make.
What's up?
You ever think about taking up magic? It's adorable how you think I got a choice. If my mother had wanted a maid, she'd be asking if I ever thought about taking up sneaky bastardy. But she wanted an assassin, so I had to give her one. Why not just ignore her? I did. Once. Let me guess, she had you tortured until you couldn't see straight. She killed me. Literally, I have died. She didn't shout or try to scare me at all. She didn't even look angry. Just strode right up and smashed my head in like swatting a fly. Then she raised me from the dead and told me if I ever disobeyed her again, I wouldn't come back. Simple as that.
What now?
You ever considered turning over a new leaf? Doing some good in the world? Ha 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 ha. Oh, hark. You harlequin, you.
Yeah.
How do you think we're doing so far? Bad. Just in general. Oh, right. Bad. Very nice. How are you, Moidra? Fine.
Speak.
How do you think we're doing so far? You're not dead yet. That's my
What?
metric. Doing fine. You have any ideas as to what's affecting the local iron? You asked because I'm a dwarf. It just seemed like you knew something about it. It's sabotage. Only answer that makes sense. Someone looking to invade or monopolize. Couldn't say who, though. You think I might be involved? Dunno. Don't pay much attention to politics. Nothing good down that road. Could I impose on you to bathe? Could you impose on me to take off my armor, put down my weapons, and leave myself unable to do my job?
What's
No.
up?
Speak.
Don't you ever take that helmet off? For what? Luxury. If I'm not on guard, I'm not earning my keep. For what? What keep? I'm not paying you a wage. Have it then.
What?
I can't help noticing you have a beard. Dwarves have beards. Even female dwarves? I didn't know that. Wasn't that uncommon where I came from. When we leave the dwarven territory, that's when the razors come out. Most other races can't handle bearded women. Spares you a lot of questions, a lot of awkwardness, and a lot of bad jokes. Bah, let them choke on it, I say. Likewise.
What now?
Why not investigate the mines yourself? You're a strong fighter. You could easily round up a group to take care of it. If I asked someone to follow me into a demon-infested hole, you think they'd do it? Of course they would. You have a bad eye for leadership. Some take orders, some give them. I'm a taker, and I don't play make-believe. Any suggestions on what to do next? Nope. Nothing at all? You make the decisions.
What?
I just make sure they don't get you killed. You didn't have much gold when I met you. Has business been slow? Below average. Like I said, crisis made life more expensive. Smiths charging more. Some think ironclad guards will just make them more of a target. Besides, there's food and drink to cover. Mostly drink. How is it possible to drink that much gold away? Don't know many dwarves, do you? I'd like to hear more about these past jobs of yours. What for? Sounds like I enjoy a good bloody story. Won't enjoy these then. A lot of the time nothing happens. I'm just a presence. People see me and don't do things they would have done otherwise. So tell me about a time when something did happen. There was a fight. Did you win? Yes. Don't know what you want me to say. Someone attacks my clients, I don't stop to ask who they are. Maybe you should try. Moidra, any mercenary would ask for some information up front. Who they're going to be fighting, how many. Did I ask you? You should have. But did I?
Speak.
Loose me.
I think we should get everyone's dialogue done before we go to the mines. That seems like the wisest choice to me.
You called.
Right.
Need a hand?
Everything all right? No, I'll just call it a wrap for now. Nice short episode. See you soon.